But he doesn't know that because he doesn't check his privilege.
Nota reminds he reminds me of like a male version of 𝐿𝐿 𝐔𝐬𝐞𝐝. Hey? They both don't have kids, don't have jobs, too much time on their hands. On my line.
Is MacG right? Or could there be more to Nota than meets the eye? Is he simply just playing the game the best way he knows how?
And in his words, he said, yeah, you know the game. I'm just playing the game.
Wow.
Is he lacking in emotional intelligence? Does he have more IQ than the rest of us that he simply doesn't know what to do with his time and mind? That his mind is consistently racing?
I know they would always come through and say, no, we've got you because you know to out here will always come through for you. Yeah, what's wrong?
He's consistently running, and therefore he needs an outlet to release it upon. That's when he chooses us, his social media following. He chooses mainstream media in general. He chooses broadcasts as an outlet. Well, let's answer some of those questions. Starting with where I first met him, at the MacG Podcast and Chillers brunch. He was the surprise guest. I went there with my wife, and when the chillers were asked and given an opportunity of whether they wanted to ask questions or not, I stepped up and I directed my question towards Nota. This was during his entanglement with black coffee. Now I want you to listen very carefully to his answer.
Y'all asked some great questions on YouTube.
Yeah, everybody has a lot to say on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Everybody's wife is asking
coolest...
them to come ask questions. Like, none of the
Cool,
wives
bro.
are asking
What's your name, bro?
themselves.
My name is 𝐿𝐿 and I was also pushed by my wife to come and ask a question, actually.
All right, just speak on the mic so we can hear you clearly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my name is 𝐿𝐿. I was pushed by my wife to come and ask a question.
What's your question,
But she
brother?
doesn't even know what I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
Nota, I wanted to know, man, with all the crossfires that you have on this journey of being the authority, what is your plan? Like, what exactly is your ultimate goal? Why go against the big guns? Why go fight the fights that you are fighting? What war are you actually challenging?
Good
man?
question.
Yeah, look, my plan is to not let anyone know what my master plan is. So that's one thing, like confuse the enemy. Like never let them see you coming. But as for like, you know, the crossfires and everything, there's a lot of sick people in this industry. There's a lot of sick people at the helm of the culture. There's a lot of people who don't deserve to have influence over people that have influence over people. And I'm tired of just sitting here quietly knowing that these people are going to be what our kids are going to turn out like. I'm scared for this country. You know what I mean? I'm scared for the women of this country because they get abused and everything else. And another thing that I'm afraid of is us as black men. We lost the war against white people. That's why they dominate us. We lost it. Our women don't respect us because a white guy is going to come up to you and disrespect you, and there ain't fuck all you can do about it. Not to say that your wife disrespects you, but I'm just saying, if that were to ever happen, there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have the capital, you don't have the power to act against the forces against you as black men. So I want to use what I have, little influence, to say, listen, I'm nobody important in the world, right? But if I can go against titans, then someone who's watching me and thinks, oh, this kid's got guts, this kid's really going up against people that we thought could never be challenged, and he's doing it and he's still alive, he's not dead, they haven't killed him, then maybe I can do it, you know what I mean? So that's basically it. That's basically the role that I see for myself, is just inspiring other kids, yeah.
I believe it was a well thought out answer. Powerful, in fact. Limited theatrics. Basically, it was his honest views, his honest truth, his perspective. He made us believe that he was for the people. He wanted to make South Africa a better place. He wanted to exude confidence and basically shape the ground of which he walked on. To summarize his answer, his mission was beyond him. Now here's the thing. I believed him. Why? Because I didn't engage him much that day. I simply observed him. Off camera, he was simply a different person. Quiet, kept to himself, was on his phone most of the time and interacted with very few people. Then, bam, the lights went on. Oh, the shift. It was like he was a completely different person. But that was then. Since then, however, he has had fights with 𝐌𝐿𝐿, aka Casper, Slicker, 𝐌𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐜, Makwa, physical education with 𝐷𝐿𝐿, and well, I'm probably missing some.
So,
alright, so it's 9:05, my show's ended. I've come outside to find this clown, this disrespectful.
I was minding my own
What do you know?
business, Chief.
He's not here.
What's happening
He
between
left.
me and
The only
that
reason
other
that
guy
guy came here in the
is
first
between me and
place
that
was
other
to
guy.
do exactly that.
None
He
of
knows what
you.
time my show ends.
None of you.
If he was serious
Trust
about
me,
waiting for me, he
nobody
could have
get
waited till
involved
after
with
the
that
show.
thing.
But he
It'll
just
end up
chases
very
cloud.
messy if
Nota,
you
that's
touch
all
that
you
guy.
do is you chase
Don't
cloud.
try to help
bruh.
him. Don't try and save him.
You came here
Nothing. I'm
to shoot
dealing
that
with
video.
him.
You even brought a goon
Relax,
with you. How funny,
relax.
bro? I can
Anyone
see
that
through the
even
glass
tries
window.
to
You brought a
help him
goon. You just
is
came here
going
to
to
shoot
stand in
that
the line
video.
of fire.
That's
Wena
that, bro.
ungena, uphakamela.
You didn't come to
No one
pull
was
up or
talking
have a
about
real
you. No one was
conversation. You want to have a
talking about your family. No one was
conversation? Let's have a
talking about your kids.
conversation. You want to fight? I'm right here.
Yeka indaba zabantu.
Do whatever you want to do,
Uyapapa.
bruh.
White
But
boy,
leave
white
people's
trash.
children out of your mouth.
Golo.
I'll leave you out of my
Uyapapa.
mouth and off my show
Leave
when
it
you leave
alone.
people's children alone.
Leave it alone.
There's an
You wake up
opportunity
in the
for
morning,
you
you
to
coming and
actually
attacking
educate
me.
young
I
people
didn't
about
say anything
finances.
about
If you've done so
Ungisuele
well, you've got
wena
these
msuku.
millions, you're
So I'm
retired by
teaching you a
what,
lesson.
30?
I'm making you famous for the
Congratulations,
last time.
bro.
So,
You can use that as an inspirational story to actually motivate kids and youth out there, but you're out here calling people's kids little idiots. You're out here throwing whatever little success you think you have in people's faces. That's not success, bruh. You're calling out people like 𝐌𝐿𝐿, you're calling out people like Casper. You are only famous from your negativity. And this is the last time I'll entertain you. You know where I work, you know what time my show ends. Come chat to me if you want to chat to me, bruh. You're pathetic. Nota, you are pathetic.
What exactly is happening? What's driving this beast within him? Some questions only he can answer. Frankly, I think he likes being the good-hearted bad guy. But let's talk about his latest stunt. Will Nota do just about anything so that he is trending, so that he is a socialite, so that he is top of mind and mentioned whenever people get a chance to breathe? Who exactly posts their savings emergency fund on Twitter for people to see, scrutinize and criticize? Who exactly gloats and boasts about it openly? Well, Nota, of course. My question is why? Was it part of his game? His ability to bait the tweep so that he is the talk of town? I honestly think he is playing us. That he has a lot more than he lets on, and that he knew that his strategy would propel his clout much faster. As at the date and time of this recording, Nota has over 30,000 Instagram followers. He has 19,000 Twitter followers, but by the time we publish this video, he'll probably have over 21,000 Twitter followers. The way they're just growing, and just last week he was on 14,000, might I add. And on Facebook, he has over 7,000 Facebook friends or followers. Look at these numbers in a year and you'll see a drastic shift, an upward trajectory. But why? Because negativity spreads much faster and quicker than positivity. Nota knows that very, very well. So what has built his following so far? Before the brunch I spoke about earlier on in this video, I first got to hear of him on Podcast and Chill with 𝐷𝐿𝐿 when he was interviewing him and others about managing artists in the music industry. He hardly spoke over anyone. He listened and answered the questions in a lot of detail, and guess what? He didn't trend. So positivity doesn't trend? He must have asked himself exactly that.
So you can have like Nota was tweeting, man, from 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐜 until, I don't know, open the space talking about this shit. Shout out to Nota, bro. You know, Nota is one of the dopest influencers on social media and free PR. You know, like when he talks about something he likes, he doesn't get a lot of engagement. When he talks about something he doesn't like, he gets a lot of engagement. Nota is like 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐜. What I mean by 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐜 is when they post about a black criminal, they write the name, the address of the homie, they write everything. You feel me? Everything about the homie. When it's a white criminal, there's no photo, there's no face, there's no name. It's just director of whatever company.
Then he was interviewed solo by MacG. That's when his personality came to the fore. I liked this Nota. well informed, very praising. Remember when he broke down that aka 𝐌𝐿𝐷 verse? Now that was a good thing to train for. Gold level-ish. But there were also mixed reviews about this. Especially his flip over a live he did with 𝐷𝐬𝐤𝐜, where they were debating exactly the notion that aka killed KO in the 𝐌𝐿𝐷 song. So does Nota have multiple personalities, or does he just not like being wrong? If you follow him on the very same social media pages I mentioned above, you will note that if you disagree with him or you hold a different view to him, you are likely to dislike his rebuttal, as it will be most likely provocative, unkind, hateful, or just plain rude. That right there is not a sign of emotional intelligence. So on first encounter, you may just like him. After all, he is an intelligent dude. But in the long run, you may just consider him a tad bit toxic.
Slick Talk and Nota and Julius, for me, are like the same. They say the right things. The execution is always the problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, I watched, there was an episode where he bashed me and spoke a lot of shit, but I missed it, you know?
Oh, wow.
But he says, it was him. It definitely was him. But he says a lot of truth. Things that people don't want to hear, or
at times,
people don't want to hear it. And the second that you say it, it's like you are the enemy now because you're telling the truth that we don't want to hear.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like exactly the same thing with Nota. Like, Nota says a lot. Like, when he speaks about the industry, Nota is fucking. He's smart, but I have moments where I'm like, fuck execution. Same as Julius, where he'll like say something really sensible and something that we all want to say, but at the end it's like, yeah, kill the bua, and it's like, no, dude.
One thing Nota is, I cannot take away from the fact that he's resourceful. I cannot take away from the fact that he's super smart.
McG once asked him, "Are you okay, Nota?" And his answer, or at least the preamble to his answer, was a peek into his past or him growing up, where he touched on a bit of therapy that he has endured since he was 4 years old. However, when McG clarified to say that your peers, people in the industry, are the ones that are most worried about you, his rebuttal was simply, "Are they okay?" Check this out.
And how are you mentally? Because a lot of people are worried about you. Are you good?
Yeah, no, a lot of people worry, but they're not psychologists. I've been going to psychologists since I was 4 years old. I've been given like Ritalin and all this ADHD medicine and everything. Since I was 4 years old, I've been seeing psychologists. None of them have declared me crazy. So I'm not going to take it from some person on Twitter or some guy who thinks, oh, all of a sudden...
No, but even people in the industry, everyone I meet is like, is Nota okay?
Yeah, they'll ask that, are they okay?
Yo!
Mina, I'm healthy, I'm happy, you know, I've got an amazing life, I've got an amazing wife, you know, things they don't have. Like, why are they worried about me, bro? You know what I mean? I don't ask them for anything, I don't need money from them, I don't need anything from them, I don't need drugs from them. Like, you know, why would they ask if I'm okay? You know, there's a lot of people who are not okay in this world, and the last thing that I need is people who can't speak to me. My numbers are on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook profile, they're public. Anyone can access my numbers. I've got 8,000 WhatsApps, you know, from random numbers, people who access my numbers. And I accept it. You know, I'm not like hiding myself somewhere. So if they want to call me, they must call me. They mustn't call my wife and ask her, yo, is your husband okay? Is he wilding out? They mustn't call MacGyver. Yo, is your friend okay? Is he wilding out? They mustn't call Saul. They must call me. You know what I mean? I'm not a monster. You know, I'm not going to eat anybody up. So, yeah.
A$AP Rocky once rapped in his song Tony Tone, "People really think I'm an a-hole. I say anything. Truthfully, I say what I really think." An example of someone who is likable, frank, candid, and we digging, right? We still digging. So the question is, could the same thing be said about Nota? Maybe, possibly yes. If you watch his content, there are many comments where people say that he's a genius and that they could listen to him the whole day. This inevitably boosts his ego. Ultimately, it is said that it's the crazy ones that change the world after all. However, here is an interesting comment that can make us think a bit. It reads, He's an internet bully and the biggest troller on social media. He's obsessed with successful black South African people and wants to derail them. Personally, I think Nota is a weapon of white monopoly capital. He's used to destroy black talents and leaders in South Africa. He never attacks multinational companies who exploit and continue to enslave South African citizens, paying them slave salaries and denying them business opportunities, access to land, etc. And I close the quote. Very interesting. And just building on this, the likes of Slick Talk look up to him. Rhea from Esam, which is everything South African music, also seems to be a mini Nota or Slick Talk.
And then have you seen a new Slick Talk? Like, you're like, oh, this one's coming from me. Because Rhea's like a mini Slick Talk light.
Yeah,
but I like them though. I like Rhea. I like Nota. Because they're like opening up the game, you know.
Yeah.
In what sense?
What I like about Nota is after he came out, he made it okay accepting for guys like me. Because I've been doing my videos for like 2 years and nobody really cared. But Nota made it acceptable for guys like me. That's why I'm always gonna give him respect. Yeah.
Calling out people, feeling that their voice may be above the rest. This is what Nota had to say in a recent interview.
Authority. It sounds like you said it's leadership and responsibility.
Yeah,
but some people would just say you actually just calling out people. You just calling out people. What is it that you want to lead?
So I mean, calling out or is it hip hop? It's dissing. I'm dissing everything that's whack.
But that's
it. But that's hip hop.
But that's not what you just meant. You just compared it to your mother being responsible for you. She doesn't only just call you out. She calls you out. That's true. And then tells you where the positive things, where the way to go. Are you doing that?
I've done that so much. I've done it. So I've given people the codes, everything, how I did it. You know, who I spoke to. You know, who gave me the deal, the exact amount of the deal, how much were the percentages, what are the splits, what's fair. You know, all the things that people would necessarily call codes.
Right.
I gave out for free.
Okay.
So the people that are threatened are people who have a mic but are misusing it.
Okay.
And I now have a mic. I take on the mic and the leadership and I use it the way I do it, and I get much more of a positive response for what I'm doing on the mic because it's actually got substance. And those who are misusing their mics feel inferior and jealous. And also at the same time, I'm calling out all the guys who are misusing their mics, you know, because this microphone is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And it also has a powerful black consciousness movement meaning, because there's a certain thing about the way in which hip hop artists, or they call it choking the mic.
Right.
Why do you guys choke the mic? It's because we got our fists up.
Right.
He also worked on a podcast recently called Everybody Hates Nota. So he likes having this persona, being called the authority, the protagonist for change but seemingly the antagonist for progress. Two diverging stories whereby further context may be needed, and possibly through his life he'll be able to show that contrast.
Right.
Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey are sitting side by side in their pictures on Instagram and everything else. At the same time, next thing, a couple weeks later, my account gets permanently suspended. I'm like, who did I offend? Did I set up an insurrection?
But not everything is gloomy. It seems like he does have a good side too. As many of you might have already known, his best friend is 𝐷𝐿𝐤𝐼𝐻, you know, the MC, the rapper, the hip-hop artist. If you watch 𝐷𝐿𝐤's interview with AKA on The Bryce Show, you will hear 𝐷𝐿𝐤 defend Nota, but he also admits that sometimes Nota takes it a bit too far. Nota is trying to be a revolutionary. Listen to his latest interview and that's all you hear. Black music by black people for black people. We need to fight. I took up this fight early on. We need to do this and that and that and that. That's all you hear.
In your world, you want to see the whole value chain owned by being black.
Yeah, because we created the music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? White people can own classical music.
But we got
let them own whatever that Mozart stuff that they make. Let them
Jay-Z
own that.
Listen to Makwa's interview on 𝐿𝐼 and you hear him say a lot of good things about Nota regardless of their past.
I see you've dropped a new album. Something along the lines of, I wonder what Nota will think of it. Wena wajika wena waphendula wathi.
I wanted to make him proud.
Thank you. Why do you want to make somebody who's, according to us as the public, why would you want to make that person proud?
You know why? I've spent, I would say, more than 5-6 years no Nota.
Yeah.
We used to share the same bed. At some point.
Sure.
Like Mpilo no Nota saw, he's the guy who showed me the game.
Sure.
Yonke into engiyaziyo manje ngasho ukuthi 80% of it ngithathe ku Nota.
Sure.
So Nota, he was a very hard-headed person. Bekangavumi anything nje.
Okay.
Athi yo lenge approve. My very first song Nota wathi amfana bagidlile kulela verse leliyana. You know? So give me bekunalento leyo ukuthi this guy ngizombonisa ukuthi I can do this.
Sure.
Ngokwami. And then when he unblocked me at Tengi album, wathatha nesikhathi nokukhomenta ngalo until azothi album lami is the best hip hop album right now. Then
So blocked ngalesa sikhathi vele.
Yeah.
Okay, wakan blocker no with the new album, okay?
And of which I won't lie, I was mad at him for whatever that happened.
Sure.
Mara yonke into ngafuna ukuyisusa emahlombe wami because yazi umsebenzi ukuphila ukwatela umuntu.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, like umsebenzi ukukhumbula ukuthi hey mayivela ngikwatele, like it's too much work. So mina ngavela ngaphuma la. That's why even now we buried the headshot, you know. And the manje
was in grand now.
Ngiyakhuluma no Nota.
Okay.
Like almost on a daily basis.
Sure.
Yeah. We advise angitshele.
I was about to ask, what do you guys talk about?
We advise angitshele enza loku.
Yeah.
Do this, you know. Like he's the guy who's still here for me. Like I would say lolo thando lola al iresekanga fandi one. Like it's like abo put mabalwa.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. You guys formed a bit of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's why nakata akhuluma into azikhulumile ngami ezithenthi igama lami till today. I was like, when you know the truth, you know I don't do these things, and then we azikhuluma, you know ukuthi mawuzikhuluma sizoyenzana.
Yeah.
That's why even now mele ayatshela abantu lento beyikhuluma yikho.
Do you think he'll do that?
He will. We were talking about it. Because now izinto engizishilo na ziyamlimaza somewhere.
When are the things you were saying, are they true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Split shit ngisibonile way before solo ukuthi bro, why are you doing this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we wait for Nota to hear him come back and say some of the things he said about you are not true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what kind of things he said?
He said I take drugs.
Yeah. Do you take drugs?
Bengiziphuzeli mina.
Do you take drugs? Do you take drugs? No. Okay.
Slicker, on the other hand, had one up on him. He humbled him, and Nota admitted defeat, paid the lawyer's fees, and admitted that he's simply playing the game. So we are just part of his game, right?
I want us to talk about the whole Slicker lawsuit.
Yeah, let's actually break down small. In this year, you've earned at least 1.5 million of lawsuits. No. There's the one with black coffee. There's the president. There's KKA. There's Shimza's girl. There's Shimza's girl.
Yeah.
Hey, don't say Shimza's gay.
If let's count.
President one, which is Shimza's girl.
Okay, 5 clip.
5. Shimza. Did he not come?
No, same thing.
5.
AKA.
Black coffee.
Yeah, 5 clip.
5. Black coffee.
No, he didn't put an amount, but that one it cost me 26,000. Yeah.
And then Slicker.
20. It was how much?
Lawyer
15,000 lawyer fees, getting out of prison, having to pay all those things.
Slicker.
Like 2018 plus 8,000. I paid 8,000 first and then 15,000 last. So how much is that?
Oh, you spoke fast.
23.
Yeah.
Slicker.
It's 300 and something thousand.
Yo. 2 point something.
And now imagine, I've already paid my lawyers. Like, I don't know, almost 100K. This year.
At what point are you gonna stop though? Because I got one lawsuit and I was like, I'm done.
No. You got one lawsuit and you're like, I'm famous.
No,
it's not that you're done.
No,
you're
I
not
didn't.
done. You're not done. Trust me.
He was like, guys, I'm here.
And that lawsuit has worn off now.
I'm here.
You need to catch another one.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Trust
okay,
me.
let's
No. Okay.
On the Sobering podcast, he highlights why he does what he does. He considers himself the engagement god.
How much time do you have to troll these comments, bro?
Yeah.
I listen to it in.
No, but you even go into the comments. Because even in your episode.
Even I do.
And why are you cussing at people's moms, man?
Yeah,
Come
man.
on,
Why are you
dog.
saying at people's moms in the comments?
In our comments, though. Yeah,
come on. If I do that, they will come back at me and react and respond. Don't worry, I'm doing it for you guys.
Okay, cool.
I'm doing it for you guys.
I wanted to ask you off air, but like it just came to me now.
We must ask these things. At the end of the day, I'm the engagement god.
Look, I'm not gonna dispute that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Because you look at the numbers, the engagement is there for everyone to see on social media. You know what I mean? When it's something about me, there will be engagement. There will be a love. There will be a hate. There's no indifference.
So before you make your determinations, I just feel that there's at least 5 lessons that you should take away from this video. Not necessarily from Nota himself, but there are snippets that do come from Nota. Lesson number 1, be yourself. In other words, don't be afraid about what the world is going to say about you. Be yourself, right? Be on the steering wheel that leads you to your destination. Don't change. Don't be a butterfly that's swayed by the wind. Don't be a magician or a chameleon that just adapts to whatever environment and loses their essence and true identity. Be yourself, speak your truth, and then possibly you may go far. Lesson number 2, stand up for your truth. But be careful not to be consumed by social media in the process. That thing is dangerous. They are trying now to build this metaverse that is meant to capture us as an audience into an artificial world. Social media has that power to consume you. So when you stand by your truth, aim by that truth, and know that when you take your shot, the shot will only hit its destiny if it's pure honesty. Because the world is allergic to the truth in this day and age. Lesson number 3. Learn some emotional intelligence. Don't give people so much power over you because people will have a field day with you. So in the case of Nota, as I've said previously, maybe we are the ones being played, right? Maybe people who are closest to him know the real Nota, and this is something that they are not fazed by. Maybe he's just playing the game and we are the pawns. You know, those chess pieces. Maybe we are just the pawns on the chessboard and he's the one, the master that's pulling the strings, right? But do not go through life without learning a bit of emotional intelligence. Know when to listen, know when to respond, know when to speak, and know when to take the lead. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. Knowing exactly the timing that is relevant for the decision that you are taking. Lesson number 4, followers are not everything. Impact weighs a lot more. In 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, what you leave behind is what will matter. Or what you've done now and your actions right now. If they transcend time, they will matter much more. Generations from now will truly speak about you based on the impact that you've truly brought into this world through your actions and not merely your words. So be careful to not be trapped in the social cycle where it's not about actions and more purely what you say. Be careful around that. Instead, focus more on impact and not on followers. Lesson 5, know when to fight. Some battles are not your own. So have that growth and maturity, that emotional intelligence I spoke of in lesson 3, to know when to fight, when to resist, and when to simply walk away. Those are the lessons that you can take away from this video. In conclusion, love him or hate him, you decide. But realize this, as long as you are engaging him, you are giving him your attention, and ultimately, whether intentional or not, you are building up his influence. Do me this kind favor, like, subscribe, share, press the notification bell if you feel there was value here for you. Cheers.